Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to this morning's Football Lit. No, not Football League. The Talking Non-League, the live show in association with Best Burger, quality burgers at affordable prices in Stowmarket. I am going there myself. Very looking forward to it. The pictures they put on their social media, absolutely brilliant. So we are here to discuss all things non-league in the Suffolk area, from Thurlow Nunn to SIL and everything in between. And of course, I'm joined, as always, by the man, the myth, the legend that is Mr. Thomas Seggins. How are we this morning, Thomas?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Good. Not too bad, thank you, my friend. Not too well. I say not too bad. My son is teething, so last night non-existent sleep. So I'm on fumes already, and this is one of 3 shows today. So
you're on the Red Bull.
I'm on the coffee. With eagle-eyed viewers amongst us with a broken handle. I'm sure that will please Nick Muller. Morning, Nick. Morning, Daniel. And morning, Balam Guy. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Better than the Sunday supplement on Sky Sports. I appreciate you. Good morning, Ben. I hope we're all well. So did we all go to any games over the weekend? Did we see anything on social media that made us laugh or tickle our fancy in regards to local non-league football? We've got 2 guests on the show today. See, I'm still on tonight mode because I've not slept a wink. So we've got Dan Snell coming on, Groundhopper Dan, coming on to discuss Thurlow Nunn, his Thurlow Nunn teams of the week. We've got Daniel Barnard. He's not really a guest anymore. He's just part of furniture. But he's coming on to discuss Claydon, a much better weekend for Claydon, I hear, on the grapevine. And to discuss SIL teams. Of course, anybody watching this now, you can listen to it back via audio on any good podcast platform after the show. I say after the show, give you some time to upload it first and it all to catch up. But how's your weekend been so far, Thomas? Have you seen any good local football, either social media or in person?
Not really. I've seen a few results, but I haven't really been on Twitter much past evening, so...
Yes, I hear you were in another public house.
Yeah. So.
Is that a usual thing for you, Saturday night in the pub?
After football, yeah.
Lad, okay. Love it. And right, so I'm looking for a new nickname for you. Okay, we discussed this briefly yesterday because I can't keep calling you Thomas and Tom because it keeps going back and forward. So I'm coming up with a new nickname for you. I want the guys at home to help me with that. I thought I'd ask their input first. I've got a few ideas, but if you've got any suggestions for a nickname for Thomas that I could call him, be reasonable, be PG. It is 9:19 in the morning. Let me know, or let us know on Twitter, and I can start calling you it. I've got a few. Seggers, S's are no good for me. Seggers is good, but S's are no good for me. I've got a little bit of a stutter, and when I'm in full flight, me and S's don't go. So, if you look across my shows, you've got Cruncher, Media Mogul. You've even got the F1. I can't remember the name right now. Anyway, right. Steve. Yeah, but I call him something else. Don't call him Steve because it's an S.
Yeah.
An S, you see. If you're an S, I don't like you. So, I mean, even my wife, who's called Sophie, I call her Zoe. Because SZ, so yeah, that's nice and easy. Shall we start with Thurlow Nunn teams? As Dan's now coming on first, I've got the roundup for those that are listening at home and don't know the scores, and for those watching at home and don't know the scores. The roundup's coming up now. For those that are watching on catchback or listening back, just skip forward 2 minutes and see you in 30 seconds. Thurlow Nunn Premier Division. Brantham Athletic 2, Galston 1. Ely City 0, Norwich United 0. FC Clacton 3, Thetford Town 2. Kirkley and Pakefield 3, Stanway Rovers 3. Newmarket Town 2, Hadley United 1. Stowmarket Town 2, God Manchester Rovers 2. Swaffham Town 1, Long Melford 0. Whitton United 4, Haverhill Rovers 0. Woodbridge Town 1, Mildenhall Town 1. Wroxham 2, Walshamley Willows 1. And now we'll look at the Thurlow Nunn Premier Division table, Kirkley and Patefield have played the most amount of games, of course, except Stanway Rovers, and have got 13 points and lead the way, a point ahead of Wroxham, who have 2 games in hand. Norwich United in third, played 11 points. Bottom 3 are Deptford Town, Woodbridge Town, Long Melford, but a long, long way to go. Thurlow Nunn, First Division South. Benfleet 1, Holland 1. Burnham Ramblers 3, Brimsdown 1. Frenford 4, Coggleshall United 0. Little Oakley 1, Athletic Newman 3. Little Oakley 1, Athletic Newham 3. Newbury Forest 2, Hackney Wick 1. White Ensign 2, Barkingside 1. Wormley Rovers 1, Wivenhoe Town 3. And now we'll look at the First Division South. Athletic Newham played for 10 points, 9-4, 4 against. A fantastic start for Athletic Newham. Little Oakley now sit in second, played for 9 points, 12-4, 4 against. Frenford in third. The bottom 3 is May and Baker, Hackney Wick, and Harwich and Parkson. But May and Baker have only played 1 game and only have 1 point. So a long way to go for the whole campaign, but of course, especially for May and Baker. Thurlow Nunn, First Division North. Fakenham Town 1, Ipswich Wanderers 1. Franingham Town 2, Wisbech St Mary 1. Haverhill Borough 1, Debenham LC 2. Lakenheath 4, Great Yarmouth Town 0. Leiston Reserves 4, Quinard United 2. Mulbarton Wanderers 7, Needham Market Reserves 0. And now we'll look at the Thurlow Nunn First Division North League table. Lakenheath played 5, lead the way on 15 points, 17 goals for, 3 against. Wanderers now in second, played 4, 10 points, 12 goals for. Fakenham Town in third, 10 points, 10 goals. Some big goal scorers in this division, some really big goal scorers, which on the flip side means there's some teams that obviously concede a few goals. Wisbech, Haverhill and Norwich CBS are the bottom 3. Wisbech have conceded a grand total of 18 goals. That's something they may want to address moving forward. And there we go. I hope you all appreciate that at home, because this house in the last 24 hours has been hell, because little one's teething. So I was trying to listen to that. I was trying to say it. I was trying to read it, and all sorts of different things moving parts, as they call them, Thomas. And of course, the league table isn't always correct first time around, as we found out last week with the ransom score. So some interesting results in there. First of all, some comments. We've got a Ballum guy. Have you seen the non-league alpacas on Twitter? And the Ollie guy, who was on this show earlier in the summer, uploaded it. Have you seen that, Thomas? No, I will grab it for next week's show. It is the most funniest thing I've seen in the world. I won't spoil it for you. I'll bring it for next week's show. So, have we got a Thurlow Nunn team? I've got 2 teams I want to highlight from this week. And I know Dan Snell's got a couple he wants to highlight. So, Tom, have you got any teams you want to highlight there, Thomas?
Yeah, I went for Fakenham. I know they've also the same as Wanderers. They won 3 and drew 1. But to keep it Wanderers at bay, who beat Fram during the week as well, like 5-2. To keep them at bay was a good result for them. So I know they're also on. They're both got the same, both unbeaten, both joint second really. So yeah, it's a good result for them. And then I went Witten, who won 4-0 yesterday. Okay, yes, they did. Really good moves. So, yeah, they've been making some really interesting moves over the summer. Have Witten? Obviously, Whitey coming across from Fixed What was one of them. So it's not surprising to see them moving in the right direction and playing some really nice football by all accounts. The Fakenham one you've mentioned there, it intrigues me a little bit, because First Division North is looking like a really tasty division this year. You've got Lakenheath setting the pace, but they've played more games. Wanderers in second, Fakenham, as you've mentioned, there in third. And then you've got March, Sudbury Reserves, Downham and Leiston Reserves in that 4th to 7th position, all on 9. I know it's early days, of course, but you're looking like it's going to be a really sort of tight, congested division there. I'm going to go for just Wanderers myself, local club. 12 goals scored in the first 4 games, 10 points, hot on the heels of Lakenheath. It's a really good start for Wanderers. And they'll be looking to kick on against Debenham LC next week, who got their first points of the season yesterday. Big shout out to Guy and Alex and all the team there.
congratulations, really well done. I believe Alex, the assistant manager there, celebrated with stuffed sweet peppers. So they look really good, actually. They look really quite good.
Not
No, and my other team from the Thurlow None of the Week, if you like, is Wroxham. Okay. It's currently sitting in second, 4 played, 2 behind Kirkley and Pakefield, 12 points. Obviously, Kirkley and Pakefield had a 3-3 draw yesterday with Stanway Rovers at home, whereas Wroxham beat Walsham the Willows 2-1.
And they've got 2 games in hand, haven't they?
They have. And what's next for Wroxham, Thomas? It's Kirkley at home on the 29th, 2 days' time, a big Tuesday night under the lights. That's going to be an exciting game so early in the season.
Yeah. That's the pace for one of the teams, probably.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, Kirkley were looking to bounce back from a 3-3 with Stanway. Obviously, Stanway are in 14th. That they haven't won a game yet, Stanway. So I'm not sure how the sort of pattern of the play went yesterday in 3-3 terms, but a good result for Stanway. That Dan, welcome to the show, my man. First of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, chaps. Yourselves?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit tired, as I've said, but not too bad. You're fine. You're beautiful, Dan. You're looking good this morning. How's your weekend been? Where'd you go yesterday?
Yeah, pretty good. I went to Northern League Spalding yesterday for the first time. Give that a look. So that's pretty good.
Rate it out of 10?
Yeah, solid 8.
Yeah. What was it? Was there a decent pie? Was there?
I didn't sample the food.
No, because there's obviously, I don't know if you're aware, if you watch his stuff, Ellis Away Days on YouTube.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. He's a fantastic content creator, but he's been doing the away days. Obviously, this year he's doing the pie league, isn't he? And he can't find a pie for love or money. So, which is why I mention it. Are you a pie connoisseur, Thomas?
Not really.
No, me neither. Dan, do you like pies?
I do like pies, but I don't.
Not overly, no.
No, I can't get on board with pies. Give me a good burger. I'm a burger guy. So yes. So what was the score yesterday?
2-0 to Spalding.
Oh, okay. Any decent goals, or was it a scrappy affair? What sort of game was it? Paint a picture for us.
No, they played Carlton Town, who had most of the ball, most of the possession, but didn't really do a lot with it. And Spalding sort of had 3 or 4 chances and put 2 away. So I think they're 2 for 2 on top of that league. So
well, you can't ask for a better start than that, really, can you?
Better.
Now, we had a couple of news items through the week, Dan, that me and you were speaking about regularly. First of all, the cup final going from 1 leg to 2 legs. What on earth? Can you fill us in for more?
No idea. When I first saw that, I thought that was a bit of a crazy idea. But now I've thought more about it, I think that's not a bad idea.
Okay, tell me. Come on, tell me the picture why.
Well, I think that the Premier Cup would normally have a really good crowd, maybe touching 1,000. And obviously, the maximum they can get at any step 3 ground is 600. So they've given both teams a chance there to get sellouts. Really, I don't think that's a bad idea. Looking back on it now.
Yes. Well, I'm just looking here. Our question: how long does the show last? It's a roughly a 30 to 35, 40 minute, 5-minute show. Ballon. So sorry. That only works, Dan, if the score is close.
True.
Because if one team jumps out ahead of the other, and also I don't think that will happen in this case, 2 evenly matched teams, in my opinion. But if it does, non-league football can throw up some big results. We saw it this weekend. If it's 7-3, if it's 4-0, are you going to get a big crowd?
No telling. Probably not. But if people have already bought the tickets before the first leg, then they'll still go, won't they? But
yeah. No, yeah, of course.
It also depends if the away team wins the 4-0, doesn't it? If they win by 4-0, then you're going to get a big crowd at home. So
is it something we see being a thing moving forward? Some things they bring into football and it's temporary, and then they like it and keep it going. Is this something you feel the FA and clubs will push for? Because, as you say, you are increasing the revenue.
Yeah, you are. I think people would still rather play at Portman Road, though, wouldn't they, in a final? So,
of course,
can't see it. It's just a one-off, I would say, but see how well it goes down, I guess.
Thomas, obviously Dan's a big groundhopper. Can you guess how many grounds he's been to already since the restrictions were lifted?
Oh, I'll go 15.
Dan?
I think 27 games, 11 new grounds, I think, but I've been to 23 different ones, I think.
Wow. Which is the best one you've been to so far, either in terms of stadium or, of course, game? Maybe they're both the same.
I quite like Corinthian down in Kent the other week. I don't know if you saw that. They were still in last season's Vars and they lost in the semi-final.
Yes. Obviously, that's another something. Obviously, Concord, another fairly local club, aren't they? They're in a final themselves. It's been postponed.
Yep.
Do you ever go sort of that way, or are you literally wherever there's a game and I can get to, I'm going to get to it?
Pretty much anyway. I go with two other chaps, so drive one in three. So whoever drives gets to choose where we go, pretty much.
Oh, nice. Nice. So is it a case of, oh no, Dave's picking this week, we're going to go to Middlesbrough? Where's the furthest you've been?
We don't tend to go silly far for a one-off, but if I'm away for the weekend or something, I always try and get a game in. So it varies, to be honest.
Okay. Obviously, I asked you before the show to pick out a Thurlow Nunn team or two. Can we have one of those Thurlow Nunn teams that you've picked out as your sort of team of the week?
So Premier, well, I'd go Brantham.
Okay. Tell us why.
Well, everyone keeps telling me how good Galston are this season. I've got to go watch Galston, but Brantham didn't seem to have too much trouble yesterday. And
no, 2-1 win at home.
They beat St Ives as well on Tuesday in the FA Cup. They're still the last Thurlow Nunn team left in the FA Cup, so that's a good achievement. So they look like they're doing pretty well there. Yeah,
flying that flag, as you say. Obviously, they've got the FA Cup coming up next Saturday. Avely, isn't it? They've got, I believe. So there'll be an interesting tie for them. But yeah, one of only a few unbeaten teams still. Haven't lost a game in 4, 3 wins, 1 draw.
Yeah.
Galston are a team to watch. I really do think that. And there is a bit of news coming out of Galston this morning, which I just want to highlight very quickly. This is courtesy of Eastern Daily Press. Kings Lynn midfielder Chris Henderson is leaving Kings Lynn Town and moving to Galston. The 30-year-old midfielder expected to drop down the non-league ladder to play for Thurlow Nunn Premier Division side Galston. So an interesting pickup there for Galston. Will certainly bring bags of quality to their midfield. So certainly, I think they are a team to get along and watch, Dan. I really do. So put it on the list, son. What's your second team, Dan?
And then, apart from the obvious Lakenheath, I was going to say Sudbury Reserves as well.
Okay, that's an interesting one. In 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us why.
What have they got? 3 wins out of 4?
Played 4, won 3, lost 1. 9 points.
Yeah, that's a decent start. Bearing in mind they've got a lot of academy players in the first team, so they've obviously got a lot of academy players that they are an academy team, aren't they? But obviously there are a lot of other good academy players in the reserves as well, so it's good to see them doing quite well.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously they won 4-3 yesterday over Kings Lynn Town Reserves, so that would have been some game to watch, Thomas.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's the sort of thing you love in it. You want to see some goals if you go along, especially yesterday's weather. I'm sure that didn't help a lot of teams playing the right way. Very windy. I was going to ask you, in terms of, because I've got a lot of people in the chat in both this week's show and last week's show about the COVID-19 restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the COVID-19 restrictions? How is it being handled? And is it time we move them along, in your opinion, or is it time we just let things be for a little while longer?
Well, I think everyone's doing their bit, from clubs to supporters, players, officials. Everyone knows it's not totally ideal, but they're just getting on with it, and it's how it is or no game. So I think it's going pretty well, to be fair. There's only been a couple of games I've gone to and I thought this doesn't look very good in the social distance in front, but other than that, all pretty good, really. I mean,
okay.
every individual does what they've got to do, don't they? You can go and stand on the far side completely on your own, but if loads of other people then suddenly come round there, you can't do a lot about that, really, can you? If you were there first, you've done your bit, and other people obviously haven't stuck to doing their bit. So,
and is that what's holding us back at the moment? You feel a lack of overall personal responsibility?
Yeah, I mean, the clubs can go on the PA system as much as they want, but that goes out the window, doesn't it? Really, if there's penalties like there was at hashtag on Monday night, then
yeah,
there's not much the clubs can do about that, really.
Yeah, obviously Dan's been in the stadiums. Thomas, you've been to a couple of games. How have you seen them observed, and what are your thoughts? Do you agree with Dan there, or what are your overall thoughts?
It is left down to your own discretion. And when I went to Woodbridge, it was okay. People are spaced out. If you're with people, obviously you are going to get people walk past you, but you just get out of the way.
So are we both thinking it's now time to turn it up a little bit of a notch and maybe increase the capacities, Dan?
I'm happy where it is. I don't think I can only think of Bury that have been selling out where I've been. So I'm pretty happy for it to stay where it is really at the moment.
Thomas?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think at the moment there's no point really. They're not selling them out at the moment, are they? So
no,
keep it as it is. Once you get more selling up, and then you can increase it maybe.
So on that line of thinking there, Dan, is Nick right? You can, if they're not a sellout, can you turn up and buy, or do you have to buy in advance? I mean, the clubs would like you to buy in advance, obviously, and we encourage you to do so, just so you've got a guaranteed place and the clubs are aware of how many people are coming. But you can still turn up on the day, right?
Absolutely. I can only think of Bury that have sold out, so you still have no problem getting in.
Yeah. And Balham guy was at Carl Sharton a couple of weeks ago. Some social distancing did happen. I think Carl Sharton kind of FA Cup run. I do agree with on my ticket way teams are doing it. I think that's the way forward. It has been for a long time. It's good to see it coming in. It really is. So we're going to jump to SIL now. Dan, we really appreciate you coming in and coming on. And hopefully have you on very, very soon. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. Here are your weekly SIL results. SIL Senior Division. Bourne Vale United 2. Achilles 0. Capel Plough 1, Westerfield 1, Crane Sports 1, Old Newton United 0, East Burgott United 1, Claydon FC 2, Hawley and Henley postponed, Ransom Sports 0, Bullaston Rangers 3, Trimley Red Devils 3, Leiston St Margaret's 0, SIL Division 1, AFC Kesgrave 2, Coddenham Athletic 3, Barham Athletic 0, Sporting 87 3, Bedricks 3, Stow Upland 2, Grunsborough 1, Wickham Market 2, Southwold Town 2, Backton 89 2, Tattingstone 4, Stanton 0. SIL Division 2, Elmswell FC 6, Thurston FC 2, Ipswich Athletic 2, Melton United 1, Curtin Athletic 2, Cockfield 3, Somersham FC 1, AFC Your Shirts 2, Ufford Sports 1, Brantford Road Old Boys 2, Wolverstone United 4, Stonham Aspel 0. SIL Division 3, AFC Wanderers 5, Great Blakenham Checkers 1, Ipswich Exiles 3, Brantford United 7, Laxfield Bardwell Sports postponed, Stage FC 2, Kesgrave Kestrels 5, Witnesham Wasps 5, Aldborough Town 1, Wortham 2, Unity FC 3. SIL Division 4, Bilderston Rangers Reserve 6, AFC Kesgrave A 4, Coddenham Athletic 3, Wolverstone United 2, Coddenham Athletic Reserves 3, Wolverstone United Reserves 2, Debenham LC Reserves 5, Crane Sports Reserves 3, Stanton Reserves 0, Ipswich Exile Reserves 0. There we go. So SIL, Thomas, some interesting results from this week. Have you got a couple of teams for me? And I've got a couple of teams, and I've got Daniel Barnard coming on as always. Good old Danny. I love talking to Danny. Hopefully a better week for his lads this week. And hopefully have a couple of teams for us as well. So who's your pick of the team? Bourne Vale. Okay. Talk to me about Bourne Vale. Why Bourne Vale?
Beat Achilles yesterday, who are a good team, and
2-0.
They're good table. They're 2 wins, 2 draws. It's a good result for them. But then the one that stood out for me more was Old Newton beating Cranes, and that's a long unbeaten run that they've lost now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how long it extends to, but I know I saw a tweet this morning there. Losing yesterday meant their long unbeaten run has ended.
Yeah, really, 2 really good results you've picked out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got you in one ear and I've got a crying baby in the other ear. So I'm trying to listen to this ear. And I'm trying not to hear this ear. And I hope the little one is all right with the teeth. But you picked out 2 good results there. So first of all, obviously Old Newton picking up from they finished off last season. Macca's fantastic guy in charge there. Now they're in 5th, 7 points from 4, as you've said, and Bourne Vale 6 from 8. Upcoming fixtures for both. You've got Bourne Vale will travel to Leiston St Margaret's, who are currently bottom of the table. Not the best of start for Leiston. They'll be looking to pick themselves up and go again. And where I haven't got one for Old Newton, so they're not playing next weekend. Are they both? Yeah, Cranes currently sitting 11th. Have you got another team, or do you want my 2?
Go for your 2, yeah.
Okay, my first. I'm going to go back to Trimley Red Devils again. I know I mentioned them last year, and I know Daniel said you love Trimley, and yes, I do love Trimley. And how can you not love Trimley with this type of start? Played 10 points, a goal difference of 10. Yesterday, they picked up a great win at home to Leiston, who I've said, obviously a last place at the moment, but a nice, comfortable 3-0 win. You can only beat the teams that are in front of you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And last year, Trimley, I'm sure they, by their own standards, will admit wasn't the year they wanted. But this year, they've really kicked on and sort of up the level, if you like. Next week's game is at home again to Copplestonians. So another team that is, down the bottom of the table. So, another chance for Trimley to really sort of cement themselves at the top of the table and really start to build on a good opening 4 games. My second team is Wickham Market in the Division 1.
I nearly went for them.
Did you?
I went from last week, didn't I? I thought I'd carry that run on, but...
You did. Played 2-1-2. Obviously, they beat Grunsborough 2-1 yesterday, so a good result for Wickham, opening up the campaign really well. Always good to see a team that is under the radar coming through, and obviously a lot of people wouldn't have maybe mentioned Wickham in the summer as a team that could look to go straight up. But they've made a good start. It's only 2 games, but we can only pick on the games we've been given, can't we? So you've got to fill the content. So let's welcome in Mr. Bombastic. There he is.
Hello, boys.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
I'm very good. Really good to see you, man. How's you been doing this week?
Well, it's a better performance than last Saturday. I can tell you that.
Yeah, talk to me about yesterday's game for you then, Dan. What was the score first and foremost for those that are not quite aware, and how did it go?
So we found the net. That's for one.
Yeah, always helps.
So we won 5-0 yesterday, which is great. We basically just played them off the park. I mean, they're a good side, but I mean, it's just incredible to watch on the sideline, and to finally get 5 in a game. Which is obviously, in the boys were pumped after that, and we positives come away for the game and to go on to the next game, and it's a big one next weekend. So.
It is, but we'll stick on this weekend for just the time being.
Yeah.
Obviously, you asked for a sort of response last week, didn't you? You kind of said, "Guys, this isn't good enough. I want a response."
Yeah.
You got that yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, boys turned up with the right mentality yesterday. You could tell that they wanted to win. You could tell, and obviously, from the get-go, especially with the weather conditions as well. I mean, we were playing against the rain and the winds the first half, and we were 2-0 up. So, and then we played with the wind and rain, but I mean, the rain stopped second half, which but we still took them apart, and and my striker got two goals as well. So
that's always helpful. So you say big game next week. Who have you got next week, and why is it a big game?
We've got Halesworth reserves away, so it's a massive game for us. Halesworth are doing really good. They lost yesterday, but obviously Wickham Market are doing really good as well. Again, we need to turn up the right mentality we did yesterday, and we'll be there for 3 points.
Yeah, a big hammering yesterday, 5-0. I was really pleased when I saw the result because obviously last week didn't go the way you wanted it to go. But so it's always nice to respond. It's still early days though, so you're only 3 points behind the leaders, Grunsborough. Are we going to get a title charge? Are we going to get a title sort of state challenge from the Claydon boys?
If we play the way we did yesterday, I'd probably say 100%. 100%. 100%. The boys were on.
I don't like to sort of put you on the spot, Dan, but who was your man in the match yesterday?
But do you know what? I'd say the whole 16. You couldn't, honestly, everyone that came on to everyone that was playing, played really well. Everyone wanted when they got put on the pitch as a sub, they obviously played wherever they wanted, where we put them. We had a centre back that went up front for the last 15 minutes. But it was against his old team, so we thought we'd chuck him up and see what he done. But yeah, you couldn't give a man a match yesterday. The whole 16, the whole 16 gave everything, and I couldn't. Our striker scored 2, but it's about the play before, that to get him 2 goals, and so the players done it, and yeah, I'm really proud of them today, this weekend.
Listen to him, the special one. Look, they're all married in the match. The man management techniques are coming out this week, Dan. I love it. Yeah. And morning, Alex. I hope you're well. We've been singing your praises earlier in the show, so jump back and listen if you just joined us. Fantastic first couple of points for Debenham yesterday, and those sweet peppers with feta cheese, Alex. They looked fantastic. I look forward to you cooking me a celebration meal one day because they looked brilliant. How do you celebrate a win, Dan? Alex celebrates with cooking a fantastic Greek-inspired meal. How did you celebrate last night?
Normally we go down to the Crown, down in Claydon, but obviously I had a few things to do. So, it was a nice kebab for me, last night.
Oh, what sort of kebab are you?
I had a chicken doner meat kebab last night.
Taste? Lovely. Chili sauce, garlic?
A little bit of chili sauce and garlic on top.
Stuff for champions, that, Thomas. How about you?
What, kebab?
Yeah.
I'd go doner.
I can't hear Tom anyway.
No, well, that's the best way to be, Dan. No one wants to hear Thomas. Don't. He'll drop the hammer on us in a minute. Yeah. No, God, what a way to set it. You do realise, though, that's kind of got to be the ritual from now on, So whatever you ate before the game, you've got to eat again. Whatever you after the game, otherwise the luck just gets washed away.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a ritual man?
Not really, no. I don't really have anything. Obviously, then picking the right 16 for a game.
It always helps the ritual, yeah.
So
that's a quality one.
So no, not really. Obviously, there's a bit of banter in the WhatsApp group in the morning. That obviously get everyone pumped, and then literally the phone goes off if we get a win. Like there's about hundreds of messages going on, hundreds, and then obviously you then have another Claydon managers group when all 3 managers are on the old bandwagon because 3 teams win.
Good weekend, eh?
And just to let you know, Dicko saved a 90th minute penalty.
He didn't.
He did.
You see, that don't show up in the stat box, does it? That don't show up on the website. Great result yesterday. Darren Pleasant's up the Claydon. Always put socks on before boots. I've heard that helps, AP. Talk to me, though, Dan, about players ripping holes in socks. What on earth is this all about?
Yeah, you get a few people that obviously tend to have the white sock and then rip the bottom of the black sock off, and
why?
And also, I don't know.
You're not Dele Alli, mate.
You see a few Ipswich players do it with the holes in the back of their calves and stuff, don't you? They have a little bit of hole, but I don't want to be talking to Kenny telling players to put holes in socks.
Oh, that'd drive me mad if I was still in the game. I'll tell you what, though, Ipswich Town players are the prime suspect of why it don't work. They're always injured.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
It's like, it don't work, does it? If they're doing it. So
No.
I asked you to pick a couple of SIL teams that you felt stood out. If one of them's Claydon, it's DQ'd because you're part of Claydon.
Not today.
So
Not today.
give us one of the two so far.
Obviously, you're gonna have to go Old Newton.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyone that beats Cranes with the record that Cranes had, you have to give them the due. Whether it's Old Newton, whether it's Bilderston, whether it's Trimley Red Devils, But obviously, Macca was suspended for the first game of the season. So, and then obviously, to get a result like that, I mean, Cranes are no pushover.
No.
So, I'll definitely go Old Newton this weekend. Definitely, 100%.
What makes Old Newton such a really sort of formidable team? Because they've come through the divisions, haven't they? And they've really cemented themselves now and deserved their place in that division. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen them play a couple of times. In your opinion, what makes them so great?
They've just got a great club morale. Like, they've got a really good clubhouse. The setup at Old Newton's really good. You don't see many people leave Old Newton, player-wise. They always seem to be stuck together as a group. And, last season they've done really well. And they're picking up a few points now. Throughout the whole, the reserve team, obviously, I think they won like 9-0 yesterday, was it? 9-0 reserve. So, I think they won something like 7 or 9-0.
Old Newton reserves. Which league?
Intermediate A.
Intermediate A. Here we go. No, I can't. My it's just crashed. No, am I still here?
Oh, good look.
No,
he's gone.
Seggers now. Can't hear Seggers.
You can't hear me at all. This is going to go well.
Can't hear Seggers.
I don't know why that is. Yeah, they won 9-0 against Capel Plough, but I know you can't hear me, so I'll type it.
Oh yeah, my internet crashed. Sorry, 9-0.
9-0, yeah.
Yeah, you were absolutely right.
Have you still got that McDonald's Wi-Fi? Have you? You've not sorted it out yet.
No, mate. It's a talk. Sort yourselves out. Talk. Some people warn me about going with talk. And did I listen? No. Oh yeah,
we're fine.
We can't hear you, Thomas. What do you mean you're fine?
No, I can't hear you.
You can hear me.
Okay, yeah, sadly, I can hear you. Give us your second team, Dan, as we round up our non-league.
Ipswich Athletic.
Oh, okay.
They had a bad start of the season. They lost 6-1 to your shirts, but then last week they drew 1-1 with Brantford Red Old Boys, and they beat Melton yesterday 2-1. Three really tough starts of the season. 3 games. Obviously, picking a point off Brantford Red Old Boys is massive, and then to go and beat Melton, who seem to be fighting for the title as well. 2-1. The 2-1 obviously scoreline is quite good. So, but yeah. It's not a bad shout for them.
No, that's a really good pickup there. Gone slightly under the radar, so that's really good that you've brought them up. Obviously, up next for Ipswich Athletic is Ufford Sports, a team that hasn't particularly started the season well. Played 3, lost all 3. So another chance for Ipswich Athletic there to really go on again, isn't it?
Yeah. Ufford would be a really good team to play against. Obviously, surprising how they've got on this season, but. There's really good, really hard teams in that league. Somersham have picked up a few points as well. If you look at them, so that league could be interesting to keep an eye on. So, so obviously, Ipswich Athletic being one of my old teams, I always keep an eye on them. So you always have to with your old teams. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say they're one of the first teams you look for, but out of the teams you've played for or managed for, who are the first teams you always sort of, radiate towards?
It's Claydon, isn't it? It's Claydon. Has to be. And then obviously Stage as well. Stage are quite close. Always after a game, it's Claydon all day.
Yeah, there you go. You see, Claydon, obviously a team that you're very close to and a part of. So I would picture that you would. Yeah. Looking at next week, we've got Achilles playing Ransoms. That's quite a big game.
Yeah, massive. Achilles didn't get the good result yesterday against Bourne Vale.
2 points out of first 4 games. That's not the best start they've had, is it?
No, but I know Dean's trying to get players in for the team. He's got a good setup there now. It's just about obviously mould them together and obviously having a good team. Ransom's a really good team. Obviously the scoreline last week you know, but they've got some really decent players. So that would be a tough one, I reckon.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask my prediction, aren't you?
Go on.
I would probably say a draw, 2-2.
A draw. Oh, sitting on the fence. Don't get splinters there, will you, Dan? Don't get splinters. Thomas, I know you can't eat it, but Thomas?
I'll go 1-0 Achilles.
Yeah, I like what Achilles are doing. It always helps when you're sort of in that rebuild that you've got the good platform, doesn't it, Dan? That you've got a good base to work from, and as you say, they have there, and they've got a good leadership team, and they'll be absolutely fine. We've got Bennell versus Hawley, Claydon playing Capel, Dan. Yeah. Claydon in 3rd, Capel in 15th. Has he got anything but a Claydon 3 points for you?
Again, every team will come to the blue circle to try and get points off us. So you know,
the theatre of dreams.
It is definitely the theatre of dreams. But obviously, Kenya will get them into the right morale to obviously win the game. But as I said, every game they have to obviously, you know, I mean, they were missing 6 players yesterday for the first team, and they were Rudgy and all the strikers. Coley was missing, so obviously to get a 2-1 result away with the players that were missing is really good to the players that played. So, but they'll be back to full force next Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big game, Thomas, from my point of view, in Division 2, is I'll just mute him while he does dad duties.
Now that's good.
Nah, we've all got to do dad duties from time to time. Trust me. Always back.
Yeah.
It's Brantford Road Old Boys versus Somersham. How do you see that one going, lads?
Tom, let Tom speak because I can't hear him.
I'll go Old Boys.
By what scoreline?
I'll go 2-0.
2-0. Dan?
I'll probably go for Brantford Road Old Boy win. I'll probably go 3-1. 3-1 to Brob.
No love for the Somersham, who are unbeaten so far.
I mean, Somersham are a really good team, but I mean, Brob have got really good players. They've got some good, really good players. I'm surprised how it's gone already, but I mean, remember, obviously they've again brought in new players, big players. So, yeah, I reckon Brob win 100%.
I'm going to say Somersham win, just because there's no love on this show this morning for Somersham, and they're unbeaten. Put some respect on that name. Put some respect on that name. Come on, lads. That's I take all the Brantford points, and I completely agree with you. They're building a team there that's a really decent team, but Somersham are not. They're not just nobodies.
No, Somersham are a good team. I mean, they've got obviously. I don't know if it's in their pitch. It's a bit of a slope. They call it the slope. Yeah. Well,
that's part of non-league, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they probably do bleep test every midweek in training up that hill, up and down.
Well, they're the fittest team on there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right. So we're done. We're dusty for another week. I've loved it.
Quickly say, it's not a nice thing to say as such, but it's nice to see that something's been postponed that's not for COVID with the Hawley game, Hawley-Henley. It's postponed yesterday because of damage to the pitch, which isn't a nice thing, I know, but in terms of it not being COVID, it's something that's more normal. That makes sense.
It's nice to see. Yeah, I know what you mean there. It's not nice to see a game postponed, but it's good to see it postponed for reasons that are not.
Yeah, not COVID.
Absolutely. So, Dan, I'm going to push you before we leave on your game next week. Are we going to get 3 points clean sheet?
For Claydon, my team? Always go for a clean sheet. So I'll probably go for.
Did you last week? I mean, I think you said the Sporting 87. You didn't, did you? You don't always go for a clean sheet.
We have to now. We've got a clean sheet this Saturday. We have to go continue it. Do you know what I mean? So I'd probably love to go away from that ground with a 2-0 win. I mean, it's not just down the road. It's a good old hour. We may as well go to Yarmouth after that to have a day trip out. So
yeah, Pleasure Beach.
Yeah, well, I don't know about this in this weather. So.
Love it. Well, good luck from us. And we'll have you on again next week, obviously. Because you're part of Furniture now, Dan. We love having you on.
And I'm off to play Vets football today.
Oh, who are you playing for? Claydon.
No, there isn't a Claydon team. Romeo Dunn.
Is that the name of the team? What name?
In the senior division.
Romeo Dunn.
Yeah,
Romeo Dunn.
In the senior division.
So solid crew.
We're playing Woodbridge.
Oh, okay. Well, wait, and where will you be playing? Do you think?
what position I'll be playing.
Yeah.
Hopefully not run the line. That's for a start.
No. Centre half,
I mean,
up front, midfield, the engine.
they-
Oh, you're the
they-
engine, aren't you? You're the engine.
They put me up front last time we played, and I scored. So hopefully again up front. So I mean,
Okay.
I'm not the quickest anymore. So just hopefully see what happens.
Well, good luck. Grab a few goals, and we'll be speaking to you next week.
Cool. Cheers,
Perfect. We'll
guys.
see you soon,
They
Dan.
can't hear me.
Cheers. Love you.
Love you too. Mwah. Love Dan. Dan is a great guy. Absolutely love him. So we're done, Thomas. Another week in the books. Bit longer than we planned, but there we go. Guys in the chat, we've absolutely loved you. Ben Moore, Upper Claydon. Can see the Achilles win this season from the start they've had. Old Newton plays some very good football and a very strong dressing room, and that is key. And then we've got, that's. I think that's it. Yeah, perfect. Right, we're done. Anything else? Yeah. See you next Sunday, 9:15. With love, with care. Adios.